They say that every town has at least one place that remembers more than it should. This town had a house. It stood at the very edge of the forest, where the trees grew too close together. Their branches twisted as if they were trying to hide it. No lights, no fence, no road leading to it. And yet, every night, someone was home. People didn't talk about the house openly. They whispered, not because they believed the stories, but because no one wanted to be the one who said too much. Some claimed the house had always been there. Others said it appeared one winter, when the forest went silent. No birds, no wind, only the sound of something inside that should not have been awake. I told myself it was just a story, a warning meant for children. But the first night I heard it, I wasn't asleep. It came from the forest, not a voice, not a sound, a presence. Something shifting slowly between the trees, and whatever it was, it knew where I lived. The next morning I found the footprints. They weren't deep, not pressed into the ground. They sat on the frost, like something had paused there, thinking. No pattern, no direction, just a suggestion that someone had stood outside my window, waiting for me. I didn't tell anyone about the footprints. Some things lose their power the moment you say them out loud. That night, the forest didn't feel distant. It felt closer, too close. The trees creaked slowly, not in the wind, but as if they were leaning in, listening, to see if I would speak. Sleep didn't come easily. Every sound in the house felt louder than it should have been. The walls settled. The floor shifted. Then I heard it, not outside, not inside, right in between, a soft knock, once, and then nothing, as if whatever stood there was waiting for an answer. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The knock hadn't come from the door. It came from the wall behind my bed. One slow tap, then another, careful, patient, like it was learning where I slept. By morning, the tapping had stopped. I convinced myself it had never been real until I saw the mark, a faint line pressed into the wall, not scratched, not broken, indented, as if something had leaned there, listening to my breathing. That was when I noticed the smell, not rot, not smoke, damp earth, cold wood, the scent of the forest. Inside my room, it didn't fade, it settled, as if the walls were remembering something they shouldn't and refusing to let it go. That night, I didn't turn off the light. It didn't matter. The shadows stayed. They clung to the corners, thick and unmoving. The window began to fog. From the outside, a slow handprint appeared, not pressed, rested, as if something was learning how warm I was. I watched the handprint fade, not wiped away, absorbed. The fog pulled back, as if the window had inhaled. Outside, the forest stood perfectly still. No wind, no sound. Then the light appeared, deep between the trees, warm, steady, the same light from my dreams. I shouldn't have looked at it, but the light didn't flicker. It waited, one step forward, and the trees seemed to part, not move, part. The forest wasn't dark anymore. It was directed. Every shadow pointed the same way, toward the house. I didn't remember leaving the house. The cold was already in my lungs. The ground was already beneath my feet. Frost cracked softly. With every step, the light stayed ahead of me, never closer, never farther, patient, as if it knew I would follow. The forest closed behind me, not with sound, with certainty. The air grew warmer. The deeper I went, wrongly warm, my breath slowed to match the rhythm around me. Step, pause, step. That was when I realized the forest was walking with me, keeping time. I could see the house now. It wasn't hidden. It never had been. The trees bent away from it, their branches pulled back like unwilling witnesses. The windows glowed softly, not bright, not dark, waiting. And for the first time I understood the house wasn't abandoned. It was awake. The door stood open, not wide, just enough. Warm air spilled out, carrying the scent of old wood and something familiar. My name, not spoken, remembered. The floorboards creaked once as I stepped inside, as if the house had finally noticed me back. The door closed behind me, not slammed, not pushed. It settled into place like it belonged there. Inside, the house felt larger. Hallways stretched longer than they should have. The light followed me now, room to room. Never ahead, never behind, as if it wanted to be seen. I noticed the photographs first. They lined the walls. Not crooked, not dusty. Faces stared back at me. Some familiar, some not. All of them watching. I stepped closer. My reflection appeared between two frames, older, thinner, as if the house had already imagined who I would become. One photograph was missing, an empty frame, clean, waiting. A small plaque beneath it held no name, just a date. Today. The house creaked softly, not in warning, in approval. I felt it then. The space wasn't empty. It was reserved. The hallway ended where it shouldn't have. A door stood there, different, older. I knew it before I touched it. This wasn't a room, it was a memory. My hand hesitated, then rested on the handle, warm, not from use, from waiting. For the moment, I would finally remember why the house had called me. The door opened before I turned the handle. Inside, the room was small, too small. A single chair stood in the center, facing a mirror, not dusty, not cracked, clean, expectant. I stepped closer, and the reflection moved a fraction too late, smiling. Before I did, I raised my hand. The reflection didn't. It watched, learning. The smile faded from its face. Mine did not. The mirror began to darken around the edges, not cracking, closing. A voice came from behind me, not loud, not rushed. "It's time." And somehow, I knew it was my voice. The room shifted, not the walls, not the floor, me. Memories surfaced without permission. The forest, the house, the first night. I had been here before, not as a visitor, as something unfinished. The chair scraped softly as it moved closer, inviting, patient, waiting for me to finally sit down. The shape in the mirror began to move, not closer, deeper. Its mouth opened. No sound came out. But I understood. This wasn't where it started. This was where it returned. The house wasn't showing me who it was. It was reminding me who I had been and who I was supposed to become. The memory settled into place like a key turning. Slow, final. I had built this room, not with my hands, but with my absence. Each time I left, each time I forgot, the house grew, waiting, learning, becoming whole. I wasn't being invited. I was being restored. The house responded to that thought. The walls tightened. The door behind me disappeared. Not closed, gone. The chair sank slightly, as if settling into its place, into me. I felt the weight then, not physical, purpose. The house didn't need me to stay. It needed me to remember and choose not to leave again. I felt the house waiting, not patiently, certainly. The mirror showed me clearly now, not my face, my place. Every room behind me aligned, every hallway settled. The forest outside went silent. No wind, no escape. I understood the truth then. The house didn't trap people. It replaced them. And I had already stepped inside. The house breathed again, satisfied. Outside, the light faded. The forest returned to itself. Birds stirred. Wind moved. Morning came, and the town people would notice nothing. Just a house at the edge of the forest, quiet, still, and waiting for the next one who forgot, for the next one who remembered too late. Sometimes at night, someone hears a knock, not on a door, on a wall. They pause. They listen. They feel the pull. And somewhere at the edge of the forest, a light turns on. Because the house never sleeps. It only waits for someone who feels strangely familiar. For someone who feels like coming home.